Okay, guys, can you see that okay? Brilliant. Okay. So thank you for joining us this evening. This is just a little bit about getting started in your Lifewave business, just a few things about when you first join, but also obviously mainly about the back office and the back office basics. Okay, so it's really important to just hit the ground running with this business, I find. And one way of doing that is to really get plugged in from the start. So get plugged into the WhatsApp groups. We've got WhatsApp groups for all the teams. We've got Team Impact, Team Momentum, Team Abundance. So really just get involved with those WhatsApp groups, and you get to hear a lot of information and ask questions as well. The Zoom calls are really important, obviously, to get on yourselves, but also to invite your guests on too. We run our regular ones on Monday, Wednesday and Friday at 7 p.m. UK time, 8 p.m. Spanish time. Also, it's really important to download the Lifewave app. So it's called In Touch. I'm going to show you a picture of that now. So this is what it looks like. And that is packed full of information again. So really important to get that downloaded onto your phone. Also, we have the websites that are full of information. So this is it team.com and this is it info.com. You have got everything you need to know about the business and the patch itself. Loads of videos and, just really good things to watch when you've got a bit of spare time. Get into the Facebook groups as well. The This It's It Team Facebook group is really important for announcements and things like that. Telegram, we have a fantastic testimonial group as well, Lifewave testimonials only. And then we've got YouTube channels for thisisitteam.com. And then also a fantastic A to Z of Lifewave is the toolbox. Now we will put this back into the groups. We keep posting it in the groups anyway. But if you're new to the business, then we will repost that again. That's really good for just quick reference on anything you need to know about Lifewave. And another great source of information is this, the patch manual by Jen O'Sullivan. Again, that is a really good A to Z of everything you need to know about getting started in the business. So these are the websites that I said. So if you wanted to take a screenshot of those, if you haven't got those already, and that's the patch manual, obviously. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about back office basics. So back office really is your own dashboard. So it's your private part of your website. In there, you'll find out how you can sign in. We'll talk about finding your own link, leg selection. So basically we work on a binary system. So you're building one team left, one team right. So basically how to select where your next brand partner will go. Resources, which is just packed full of information again. The organisation section and commissions, which is really important to all of us. And also we're going to talk about setting up your e-wallet as well. So that's your little wallet where you will keep all your commissions. So first of all, signing in. Well, once you get onto your lifewave.com, you actually are faced with this, and it will tell you that there's a little bit there. If you can see the little man there, my arrow pointing to it. So that's where you will press to sign in. Now you'll be faced with this then. This is to put in your username and your password. Now, if you've forgotten those, it will actually be in your welcome email from Lifewave. So you can just always go back to that for reference. And then you will be faced with this little avatar here. So this is really good to go on to first of all, because you will see on the right hand side of the screen that you are faced with either view profile, change settings, or sign out. So we're going to go into change settings first of all. And this is where you're going to find your own link. So your link to send to your potential customers or potential brand partners. So you'll scroll all the way down there and you'll be able to see at the bottom it says website. That is your URL. That is what you are going to send to your customers or your brand partners, potentials. So just copy and paste that. Also, in the change settings section, you'll also be able to select your leg of where you are going to put your next brand partner. So when you first sign someone up, it will actually be put onto your strongest leg. So it's really important every time you feel that you're going to be enrolling someone new to actually just go into your change settings and make sure that you've selected the other leg, just so you're constantly balancing your two legs out. So you'll just build one left and then one right. But your sponsor themselves will help you with this and how to best build your business. Another really important part in that section is the email sign up. So this is really good to just go on to select where you want your emails from. So if you want to know a bit more about Europe Lifewave business or just the UK, you can select whichever country you want. Obviously it will be in that language, but it's such an international business that you will be signing people up from all over the world, so you might just want to know what's going on in that country. So it's always good to sign up to those different emails. At the moment I just tend to go for Europe and the UK. So when you've sent your link to your customer, for instance, this is what they will be faced with. So if they're looking to be a customer, they will go on to shop, and then they will be given the option to buy X39 for either the normal retail price of $149.95 as a retail customer, or they can become a preferred customer, which means they subscribe and save. They will subscribe to a monthly subscription of $99.95 plus obviously VAT and shipping. So it will give them that option, and it's entirely up to them, you know, and you can actually advise them either way. So this is how to enroll. Again, you all have sent your link to your potential brand partner. They will click on join, and this is what they will be offered. So these are the different enrollment packs. Now this is if they are actually signing up themselves. What I tend to do at this stage is get on a Zoom call with them and just talk them through the process. You know, some people just want to get on with it and sign up themselves, but I always find that just in case they hit any kind of things that they're not quite certain of, then it's really good to just talk them through it while you're on a Zoom call and they're enrolling themselves. The other option is if you are face-to-face with someone and you've got your laptop with you, you can actually go through it with them yourself. So you can click on your menu, and on the drop-down menu you'll see that there is organisation. You'll click on that, and then you'll click on enrol new, and here you'll be given the option to join now, and then you'll be faced with this again. So again, you can just do it while you're there face to face with the potential brand partner. So there are options, you know, whether you want to do it remotely or together. Now another option in the actual drop down menu is marketing tools. Now this is really important because it just gives you loads of different templates on business cards, banners, flyers, anything that will help you really promote your business. So I really suggest this is one of the things you look into as well. There's so much information in your back office that it's really good to just go in and look at everything, and then if you've got any questions, please speak to your sponsor or any of your upline or sidelines. We're all here to help each other. Now, one thing that we're all interested in is commissions. So when you first make a commission, you'll be sent an email from Lifewave to say you have commissions. This is when you will set up your e-wallet. So you will go onto commissions, and then you will click on Pay Portal, if you can see that at the bottom highlighted. That will take you then to log into your iPayout. So you can set up your own e-wallet there. You can either then keep your funds in your wallet, you can use it as spend back, so you can use it to purchase other patches, or you can have it transferred directly to your bank account, and you know, that's it then. Once you've sorted that, you don't have to think about it again. It's really nice because you just get a little notification from your bank to say that you've got commissions. So, you know, it's entirely up to you. But it's a really good way of just keeping your money safe there. And it is actually really simple to set up. Just to note that when you are paid commissions, it will basically be a couple of weeks later on a Tuesday. So your commission week will end on a Sunday, and then it will be 2 weeks later on a Tuesday that you will actually get those commissions. So don't think that they've forgotten about you or anything. It just takes a little bit of time to come through. But it's all, you know, very exciting when you're paid weekly. Okay, one other thing I'd like to touch on here is the resources section. Again, is packed full of information that would be really useful for you. This is really good, and I really recommend downloading this. So it's like a health tracker for your new customers or brand partners that have just started using the patches, because as we know, the patches go to work on wherever they're needed first. So sometimes someone might have started using the patches thinking they want to heal their knee pain or something like that. But it's important for customers to realise that actually loads of other benefits are going on in the background before you even get to that stage. So it's really good for people to track whether they're getting better quality sleep, whether they're getting more energy or stamina. And this really does highlight then what is going on and how beneficial the patches are as they're leading up to helping you with whatever problem you're hoping it will. So I really recommend downloading that for your customers. So the other thing I think is really important is once you've signed up, to try and launch your business within 72 hours. Now, launch your business is basically doing a little presentation, an opportunity meeting, Zoom call with your sponsor, with any of your upline, and just inviting the people that you really think will be interested in this business or interested in the patches themselves. Just invite as many people as you can just to take a look and, just say, I just want your opinion on this. That's really good to then really showcase what you're doing. And from there, you can really start building your business. So hopefully from that launch call, you will get your first 4 people. So if you put 2 people on your left leg and 2 people on your right leg, as you know, you can go to the rank of manager. And this is where all the magic happens, basically. So you become a manager and then you just duplicate. You just basically start making managers. So become a manager making machine. And again, just go through the flow again of launching your brand partners' businesses and getting them to the rank of manager. It's as simple as that, and it's so enjoyable along the way. So that's all I have to say about the back office. If you have any questions, and Ines, are we taking questions now or at the end?
Just pop them in the chat. The people have been chatting away a little bit there. It just keeps it a little bit tight because we've got a lot to get through.
Yeah.
But we'll probably have a bit. If we've got time at the end, we'll have sort of questions and answers. But you might want to write them down just in case you forget them.
Yeah. Brilliant. Well, thank you for listening, guys.
No, that was brilliant, Jules. Thank you very much, because
You're
those
welcome.
are sort of the basics and the important stuff, and very much recommended to go poke around in that back office. The resources is brilliant. There isn't anything that you really can't find there. You've also got the live chat to be able to ask, the operators of anything that you sort of need and anything you need help at all. So thank you very much. And so now we're going to move over to our first speaker. She's been doing really well, very consistently working, consistently on the Zooms, consistently bringing people in. Jill Bailey, where are you? Would you like to unmute? Oh, there you are at the top, of course. Would you like to unmute yourself and just tell us a little bit about what you're doing, how you're doing it, any sort of hints and tips and things that you think might help people?
Okay, thanks, Ines. So I started back in January, and some of you know I was with a network marketing company before. So I've pinched a spreadsheet from one of the leaders there and adapted it just to help me to keep track of who I've spoken to and follow up. And at the moment, I've got about 258 names on that. Now, I've not spoken to everybody, but I have spoken to a lot. So I know who to go back and follow up with. And just to give you an idea, and if I source out technology, I'm happy to share it with people. But to give you an idea, I just put the dates that I contact them, the name of the person, how I've contacted them. So that could be Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. It might be a conversation. It might be somebody I've met as a network. It just gives me an idea of where they are, because I was starting to find I was getting a bit lost and thinking, oh, where did I contact that person? And then a best sort of description of how I know them. So that was really things like, I'm trying to remember now, because unless I'm looking at it, I forget half the time. But it was things like, have I already contacted them? Are they a warm market? Are they an acquaintance? Are they a network colleague? Something along those sorts of lines. And I have drop downs, so I can pick drop downs. That's why it was copied, because I wouldn't be able to do that sort of thing otherwise. And then a little hint about a conversation starter. So if there's something specific that maybe has prompted me to approach them. So maybe they've said in a post that, you know, they're suffering with pain or something like that. So I'll put a little hint to myself of what I started chatting to them about. And then the social media one is where I say whether they're newly contacted, because some people are, because I am approaching new people as well. I might not have contacted them yet, but I've thought of somebody, so I've written down, and then as I go along the line, I'll put not contacted yet, so I know who I've contacted and who I haven't. And other people will be that I've already contacted them. What I've invited them to. So I may have sent a message, I may have sent a website link, I may have sent a recorded call. Most of them are recorded Zooms or the little short videos, the phototherapy one, stuff like that, just to engage. And then the status is whether they've become a preferred customer or a brand partner or they've not done anything. Yeah. And then I've got a little notes section where I can just again put some little notes about, right, when am I going to follow up again with them? Or when I've followed up with them, I'll put another little date. So I might not show all the dates that I've followed up, but I'll show the most recent because it just prompts me that, you know, they might need another follow up. So that's how I track everything. And I'm not saying that's the best way. It's just what's working for me at the moment. That could change. A flit. And then what sorts of things am I doing? I'm gradually approaching people on Facebook. I'm not doing Facebook a great deal just because I think people are fed up with me on Facebook. You know, people go, oh, she's Herbalife, and you know, and that's it. So I don't do a lot on Facebook in the way of contacting. Insta, if I've got new people, I'll maybe reach out. LinkedIn, I'm using quite a lot at the moment. I'm trying to get business to business. Now, I'll come back to that because that leads me to something that's also a question for me. So I'll come back to that later. And then anything that's free. So if there's free networkings, I will try and get to some. I am a member of one networking group. Hasn't quite taken off at the moment, the group itself. So how much longer I'll stay, I don't know. So yeah, ladies networks, other networks, mainly free events, stuff like that. And then if there's anything local, where I can go and just talk to people. So any fairs or events and time permitting around everything else. I'm not very good, so I'm glad to hear that Val and Pat are going to say, hey,
Well,
because
actually,
I'm not.
I'm going to break in there because I'm intrigued. You know, we picture the scene.
Yeah.
There's a tent. You go, right. I've got my t-shirt, I've got my talkie t-shirt on, and you go to the event. And what do? You walk through the doors. Talk us through that.
I'll just go around the stands. If it's an event where there's different stands and I'm not hosting a stand,
Mhm.
I'll just go round and look and then try and get into a conversation with people. Sometimes I don't even try. Sometimes I'm just downright hard-faced and go, oh, have you heard of this? And I'll give them a flyer. I'd love to have a chat with you about it at some point. Now's not the time because you're busy, you know.
Do you
And
grab
it
any information from them?
normally, yeah, because then I can drop them a message.
Okay.
So if they've got cards lying around or something like that, or I'll say to them, oh, have you got a card? You know, so I'll do that. And I'll do that in shops as well. If I go into shops, I'll
Okay.
do that. Or just, again, outright say, don't know if you've heard of this, you know. So I can do it in that way. I
Mhm.
can't do it on the street or
Yeah.
in a park. There's loads of people who go round a park and do it. I just can't do that. And I know it's my own mental block because I hate being bothered in the street if I'm busy.
Yeah.
So I won't do to other people what I don't like having done to me.
Yeah. No. I get that, and you've got to work it. You got to work it the way that you work.
Yeah, yeah. But I also have going in the back of my head, not just that it was a missed opportunity, but I'm being selfish by not sharing.
Yeah.
So I have
Yeah.
this constant battle, really. So that I'm still working through. Um, I attend all the Zooms.
Mhm.
Mainly because if I'm completely honest, other than I love it, and I know the slides are pretty much the same, I do love to hear other people's testimonials, but it's a way for me of having a life, having friendships. I've moved into a new area. I've not really got any friends around. And so it's my social life. So when people say, "Oh, you go on a Zoom call at 7 o'clock," I go, "Oh, they're amazing. I love them, you know."
Really
So
no mates.
really no mates, yeah.
Oh, Jilly no mates.
Oh, really no mates, yeah.
Lovely.
So it's my way of having a social life as well, you know, and getting to know people. And as I say, it's just hearing those stories because you never know who you're going to talk to or bump into. And one will just trigger in your head that
Mm.
you'll say, "Oh, actually, I was hearing somebody the other night on a call, you know, like Sherry had a stiff neck, made me cry, you know, tiny tears here, cries at everything." Um, And then the follow-up, in a sense, I've mentioned because I tried to go back to my spreadsheet. I'm not the best. I'm not 100%. I've got a lot going on personally at the moment. 2 days are wiped out with Jack. I mean, I'm just like exhausted by the end of the the 2 days, mentally, not physically. Physically, I could go out and go for a 10-mile hike, but mentally, I tend to be exhausted. Um, and the other thing that I do, probably one of the last things, I listen to David Smith pretty much every day while I'm getting ready, because that's my time. 5 o'clock, I'm up, workout, breakfast. And when I'm getting ready, that's when I've got the time to listen while I'm getting ready. Um, so yeah, I have David Schmidt on and listen to him, whether it be about videos or new products or whatever. I just because I think you may as well hear it from the horse's mouth.
Brilliant. Oh, fantastic.
So I love it and I love the company. I love what it's all about. You know, it's I never ever thought I would leave. Well, I've told everybody now it was Herbalife, so I never thought I would ever leave. And in reality, at the moment, I haven't. But I know I'm never going to build a business with Herbalife. I
Yeah.
look after the customers I've got, you know, I'll always use the products myself, but I'm never going to build a business with Herbalife.
Yeah.
It'll be built with Lifewave.
Yeah.
You might be slow, might be like British Rail, for those who remember British Rail, but I will get there.
No, you're doing
I love
brilliantly, and
it.
it's the consistency. That's the thing, you see. Throwing
Yeah,
yourself 100 miles an hour, it's not sustainable, not for most people.
no,
But having
no,
that constant consistency is what
yeah,
really builds a business. And yeah, it's great because you've got customers, you've got brand partners, you're building a nice, very rounded,
yeah,
balanced business. But Barney's asked about what flyers that you've got. If you don't mind at some stage to take a screenshot and put it into the WhatsApp
yeah,
group,
yeah.
and
Happy
that
to
would be
do that.
brilliant. So
Yeah,
fantastic! Thank you so much for sharing,
no
and
problem.
that's
There is
just
a book.
amazing.
Consistency is key,
Yeah,
actually.
yeah, it
And
really
that's
is.
good.
It really is.
Um, I used that previously,
Hmm.
and I started really with low numbers
Yep.
because then you don't beat yourself up.
Yeah.
So anybody who's got that imposter syndrome or, you know, lack of self-worth and, you know, that's still me. I'll start small and do what I can because then I know I've done it. And I do a gratitude diary every night.
Brilliant.
So
Thank you so very much for coming on and sharing that. That was
welcome.
that was fantastic.
You're
Um,
welcome.
Wonderful. Okay, we're going to over to our second speaker. Also thrown under the bus at the last minute, Laura.
Hi everyone. Right, so thank you. What you got to do is just take yourself outside of your comfort zone. Get out there and just talk to people, meet people, whether it's online or in a supermarket, at an event, walk around, you've got to get talking because it is just a numbers game at the end of the day. Um have lots of patience because people will come into your groups or into your chats with you, into your messages, and people are always having busy lives. You never know what's going on, but they will be watching you and what you're getting up to. So post things on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Get yourself known out there, because if you're not putting yourself out there, people don't know what you're doing. I've been doing lots of different content with the help of ChatGPT and a few other things. I've been finding a way of getting myself out there. Been a busy foster carer. I'm like Jill, I haven't got a life outside of my home or the car that I'm in or the contact centre. So I don't get much time off. I do this business very part-time and try to do everything around the girls that I've got. So not everyone's going to be able to do content like that I've been doing, but I'm learning something new. It's out of my comfort zone, but people are engaging. I've been putting myself into lots of different groups on Facebook, some holistic, some healing, all kinds of different groups that I found. And if someone said, oh, I've got something wrong with me, I've then gone, I hear you, I understand. I was like that a year ago and I found something amazing. Feel free to pop me a message. And from that, I'm speaking to people globally and inviting them onto a Zoom call. Just keep in touch with those people. What else can I say?
Give us a sort of a typical day. So you get up in the morning, and then you how do you choose where to start? Because sometimes that's the hardest thing, is actually starting. I found myself in a bit of a hastious at the moment, and it's like, where am I? Where do I start? So do you have a spreadsheet? Do you have anything like, or
No, I'm ADHD brain. Everything is
Right.
in here.
Okay.
I do start, and I get a book and I write down lists, and then that book gets put on the side. So what I do is I go through back all my messages, whether it's on WhatsApp or Facebook Messenger, and I have to follow up through that and just go through it all, and then follow up, follow up, follow up. So it's
How many times do you follow up? As an average, would you think? So say we were on a Facebook group, and I've gone, my leg hurts, and you go, the same for me a year ago. I found something, you can message me, and I think, oh, okay. So I message you, and you then do. What do you do? What's your step?
so I would go, right, what do I want to get across? I will put my thoughts into a chat GPT message and ask them to find a warm, engaging, friendly way to make somebody engage with me. And then they give me a really, really brilliant message. And then I send it to them back. And then literally go backwards and forwards with them messaging, and then invite them onto a Zoom call. So I concentrate on the days that the girls are in nursery, which are the days that are the Zoom calls. So yeah, it lines up. And I'm always saying out loud, I am perfectly aligned with the universe, and please send me the people that I need to help right now. And with that, I manifest stuff, and I just have people all line up with me. And you know, it, if you can get them on the call, great. But if not, you just say, "Oh, didn't see you on the call. We've got another one." Blah blah blah. And people have busy lives. You just got to have a bit of patience and understanding, but don't give up until someone tells me to f off. I'm going to keep messaging those people.
So that's the answer, really, isn't it? Just keep on
Yeah,
going, keep on
yeah.
messaging until they say, one thing or the other. That's brilliant. That's absolutely brilliant, Laura, because I know, been watching you, how you've been building your not far off director. So you're building constantly your business. No, that's fantastic, because there'll be a lot of people, and I'm the same with the list. I've got to laugh. I've got so many different bloody books on the go. And on the computer, and here and there, and I still don't do it. So
Yeah, there's been days where I'm a spreadsheet queen in the past. Ex-accountant, give me a spreadsheet, I can do everything in it. And yeah, I used to make lists, but I find that once they're into the computer eats it. I need something physically in front of me or in my brain, and my brain goes, oh, I need to contact so and so, and then what I do is I just go through my messages and go, right, okay, it's that person, ping. And and then I'll sometimes I will also ask ChatGPT for conversation starters, for a warm market, for a cold market. And then if I'm not quite liking the message, I'll go, no, make it more friendlier, or I might go make it more spiritual. It depends who you're talking to send what message out there or to them. So
Wow.
everyone's a little bit unique. So you've got to find your connection with people.
Brilliant. I think we're going to have you doing a training on Chat GPT. I think we're going to have to get you on that.
And there's a few other things that I've put together, and I know some of you have recently been liking some of my content. And Val even asked yesterday, "What are you doing? How are you doing that? I want to learn." So yeah, I might have to do it in person though, because I don't know whether I could do it over this. But yeah, all you need to do is get the Chat GPT app on your phone, and then ask it a question. Then it will, whatever you want to know, it will show you. So and ChatGPT can actually do your images as well.
Crumbs, right? Okay.
So you've just got to ask it, and then from that it will say, do you want me to guide you how to put it into like a video content, the music and this, and it will sort of guide you how to, or where to go. And there's loads of different AI apps coming up. But I don't want to be paying money for them, so I go for the free ones. So
Wonderful.
it's nuts.
Listen, a couple of messages here. We got questions. Oh no, Chat GPT. Yeah, there's a couple of people agreeing they've got Chat GPT. Wonderful. Listen, Laura, thank you so very much for your time and for giving us that. That's I think that's given us all a bit of homework to do. Or downloading the app now straight away.
Yeah, obviously it's not for everyone, and not all things are duplicatable, but yeah, just keep it simple. At the end of the day, just talk to people and keep in touch with them, build rapport, follow up, and just keep it going, and just invite people on the Zoom call. And that's the aim of it. So you just got to find your own way that works for you.
Brilliant. Wonderful. Thank you. So from Chat GPT, we are going to hop over to Shelley, who's going to talk to us about algorithms and Facebook and social media. So wonderful. Thank you very much for coming onto the call tonight, Shelley. That's amazing that you've given up your time. Over to you.
Well, first of all, thank you very much. And it's so nice to see so many people. There's a lot of people I know on here, for sure. And it's like no time's passed between all of us. So what you'll also know, those that know me, is I'm not an expert on this particular subject. The only reason I know what I know is I did a course because I do use Facebook. Now, I'm not an influencer, so I need you to understand this is for regular people, okay, that just use, like, you've got your friends, your family, some old school friends, things like that, maybe some of your clients, depending on what you used to do. And because Meta now own Facebook and Instagram, this is going to be exactly the same for both of them, although they are separate platforms. But I'm going to use Facebook as an example. TikTok is a whole different other ball game. Okay, so there's no copying and sharing and pasting. It kind of works in a different way. So we are predominantly going to be talking about Facebook. Okay, just so you know. So the reason, as I said, I did this was I didn't get it. Why did some of my posts take off and others were just flopping all over the place? So one day course showed me absolutely everything. And what I want to do with you, just in case, I know this is being recorded, but I do know some of you like to take notes. So what I've done is I've got a little heading and then I've got a couple of bullet points for you of what it likes, what it doesn't like, and then what we can do to make it work for us. Okay, totally free, by the way, totally free. So we shall demystify what everybody thinks is really hard work. Let me tell you what the algorithm likes. Now, does everybody know what an algorithm, by the way, is? Just a show of hands. If I say the word algorithm, does that make sense to you? It's basically AI. Okay, so we're talking about ChatGPT. It's like that, except we've been using it for years and years and years, and you didn't even know it was actually dictating your life. Watch television, AI's already taken over everything. Use your phone, it's already taken over everything. We're just hearing about things now. What happens when you've got something like Facebook? It was born out of being a social media for people at college. It was to allow them all to interact with each other, but it has morphed into what we know now. But there are two sides to something like Facebook. There is the usual of what we do, sharing little things, and then there's the business side. So AI was brought in to recognize things of whether you're doing something as a business, but you're not paying for business, or how they're going to shut you down really, really quickly, and you don't even realize what you're doing. So let's unplug all of this, unravel it all, so that way you're not making mistakes, because this is a really important business. This is it. It's not just the team, it's it. It's what we're doing. At our ages now, we're not going somewhere else. So you can start building your business, and with 1 or 2 posts or doing something slightly wrong, it will shut your business down and it will shut everybody else's down, and you didn't even realize you were doing it. Okay, so that's one of the reasons I share it with my team, and this is why I come on training, because we are in this together. And Maya Angelou said, when you know better, you do better. And that's why we're sharing it. Okay, so let's talk about what it likes. Okay, so why it was made. It's a social media platform, and it wants people to stay on the app. I don't know if you know it, but it's an app. So the longer you stay on it, the better it is. It likes it. So here's what it likes you to interact with. It will boost your visibility when you, and by the way, your Facebook, as an example, you can have that set on a private setting. You'll see that it's just for friends, family, everybody that you know, or you can have it clicked on a little world, which means everybody can see it, but not in the same way as TikTok. Okay, it doesn't matter either way. This works exactly the same for both. Okay, so what it likes engagement, and engagement means likes, comments, shares, and saves. And when I say like, when you click on the like button, it gives you a row of icons that you can pick. Now, most people pick the thumbs up. If you pick the thumbs up, it will automatically think that you do not know the other person, and it will stop showing content unless you engage with people. You want to go for the heart emoji all the time, every time. Heart, heart, heart. Never thumbs up. Might not know this, but it's just so simple. It's completely free. And then you want to write something, especially when you know people. So this is why it's nice to have groups like this, because you all get to know each other and you'll all post different things. And you just want to, hi, oh my God, yeah, I love your post. This is so true. Yeah, I get it. And I'm not saying you're going into massive detail about you, but just you're bigging up that person. Okay, it likes that. It likes it a lot. And not only will it share more, so let's say Laura's posting on Val, vice versa, it will start showing more. And it goes, this is really good. So it's just tiny little things that will work fast for you. The comments, the shares, and the saves. I'm going to talk about shares in a moment. Saves are just saving something that maybe somebody made a comment or a video. There's an option to share it. It recognizes that you know each other. Okay, so this is really good. Meaningful conversations, especially comments and replies. It is, imagine it's your birthday and everybody's gone, happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday. If you go like that, like, the algorithm goes, well, you're just being lazy. You clearly don't know these people. It just probably popped up. They will stop showing your posts for about a week to those people. If you heart everything, they'll show more. If you go, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, they will show everybody it for at least 2 weeks. So anything you post afterwards, it will keep going. So I'm just giving you an example of your birthday, but I want you to be vigilant that this is a job that you're doing. It's not a last minute of thumbs up. Okay. And those you can do in the evening. So all of this you do when you're sort of commenting on other people's posts, you're doing this outside of your business hours of what you're doing it. You're doing it when you wouldn't normally contact somebody, or you're not on a Zoom. It likes when you keep a regular post going, and it also likes different kind of contents. So whether you do things like videos, you ask a question, carousels are those where you see at the top and there's lots of different reels going on. There might be something else, actually. I might have said that wrong, but that's what I understood a carousel to be. So you want to keep changing your content out, and you don't want to be posting about Lifewave constantly, and you don't want to be posting about the X39. You want to mix it up with other things you do. So as an example, Val's got dogs, share that, the caravan, and then a little bit of Lifewave, I'm out with my friends, constantly doing it. If you constantly do it for the business, it goes, well, you're not on a business account, I'll shut you down. I want to say shut you down. I don't mean it will close your thing, just nobody's going to see it. If you mention the word X39 or Lifewave and you hold up the patches and you go, ooh, yeah, sorry, like that, the algorithm will know what you're doing. So you want to turn it around. Okay, because when you do that, that's very salesy. When you do that, that's curiosity. Some of you might have seen my post that I did. We got a bundle with the X49. I had it the other way around. I showed it was like, oh, look what we've got. I cannot tell you how many people. We must have had 50, 60 people messages about that. And not all on Facebook, by the way. It'll come through your messenger. So curiosity is the best way to go. That is sex on the first night. That is, oh, should we date a little bit more? Just sharing, okay? So you want to be a little bit more private, but excited. So a lot of times you'll see me hold my patch, and I've noticed a lot of you do the same thing, and you can put on each other's post, oh God, it's been so magical for me too. You don't want to overtake somebody's post. I will share what you can do on your own, but do not go on somebody else's page and give, unless they've asked for testimonials, or like some of our group we're sharing and we know what we're going to be doing. Don't put all your stuff on somebody else's page. It's not fair. Yeah, but you can like their page and support them, and they will do vice versa for you. Quick engagement. Here's something else interesting. If you post something and people post on it almost straight away, you have now hit the jackpot. That will go on for weeks. People will start looking, because now that recognizes, oh, people like you. They think what you have to share is interesting. Now, that doesn't have to be about Lifewave, by the way. It could be about the dog, the cat, your grandchildren. You want something quick. So if you see somebody, you go onto Facebook and you see somebody that you know that has posted something, go on really fast. Oh my God, wow, love it. You guys look great. Thank you. It's a fast thing. Okay. This is not hacking the algorithm, but let's play it its own game. All right. Let's say it's a gray area, but it's not illegal what we're doing, but it will help everybody's business. I'm going to tell you now what hurts your business. All right. I think this is really important. And unfortunately, it hurts other people without you realizing. When you post, this is what hurts yours. When you post links that take it off Facebook. So here is my YouTube video. Yeah, a link to that. And that could be one of our videos, for instance, but it's actually based on YouTube. So when you click on it, it'll take them out of Facebook and onto YouTube. You think, oh, this is great. They'll watch the video. That will hurt your future posts without you realizing it. If you say websites, anywhere you start putting your websites and it's not a business, that will hurt your business, your page. People won't see it. You'll think they will, and you'll be like, why is things going tumbleweed? I don't know. The algorithms are literally not showing anybody things. Okay, so again, some of your close friends, they might just see it, but everybody else, your wider audience, will not see it. Being inactive for long periods of time. Now, I understand sometimes it can happen if you're not well. You just have to build that level back up again. But if you just are a little bit lazy with it and I'll do it on Monday and oh God, I forgot, and maybe a Sunday, and you're very ad hoc with it, you have to create a schedule, almost like Laura said, just what to do. And you can actually ask ChatGPT to schedule it. Here are the things I want to show, whatever it might be. What would I show? Like one of my things is Testimonial Tuesday, just as an example. So you can ask ChatGPT to schedule you something around what you like him to do. And the other thing it doesn't like is if you're salesy and spammy. And what that means is language like, buy now. Buy now, it's special. We're doing an expert. You're not on a business. It'll let you do it on a business account, which is expensive, but it won't. And the other thing is PM me for info. Oh, it hates that. It will hate that for you. You'll have 48, if not 72 hours of nothing on your page. Nobody will see it. And when I say nobody, I'm talking about your wider audience. That's what I mean by that. Obviously, you'll have some people that, so you're always posting on. Yes, they'll let you that, but your wider audience, that can go up to 72 hours, if not longer, the second you PM me. What you can say is, give me a thumbs up. Because a thumbs up is actually there to speak. It's an algorithm speak. It likes that. It doesn't mind that. So you can do that. So quick tips. You can ask questions to spark conversations. Anybody else got a gorgeous collie? Anybody else got caravan trips? Anybody can recommend something? Anybody know what to do with grandchildren? I've got them all day. Oh my God, I need some help. All of those kind of things. Anything that's not to do with the patch. Because it's a friendly, that's what Facebook is. Telegram is Instagram is very slightly different, but I think the majority of us probably would use Facebook more than anything. So you want to spark conversations and friendship. You reply to every comment to boost your visibility. It's a job. I know, but the more you have to do and the more annoying it is, the better it is, because that's the more people that are engaging. If you've only got 2 minutes, like, oh, there's 4 of them done, that's done and dusted. It's better to have 70 and you're like, oh my God, I'm messaging. That, I promise you, is a really good thing to have. Use stories and lives to stay on top. Yeah, mix it up, as I said, texts, images, videos, that kind of thing. And be sociable. Comment on other people's posts, ideally daily if you can. And look at all you all here now. If you just shared between all of you, you would be amazed at the difference it happens. Now, one last little thing, and this is going to make or break your posts. I've got to be truthful with you, all right? So it's called copy and paste. I think a lot of us know, oh, copy and paste, I get that. And it makes sense because you look at something and you go, oh my God, that is so eloquent. I would never have been able to say that. I'll grab it, I'll post it. Of course, I'll change things, you know, that kind of thing. So for me, if I post something and I've got my time in it, maybe a little bit of a testimonial, my picture, it would be a natural thing. You put your time in, your testimonial, and swap it out for a picture. Here's what happens when you do that, when you copy and paste, okay? And I'm only talking now about when we're doing this now in the Lifewave world. You lose reach and credibility. Your version might perform well. Let's say I start it. But the second it's copied, the content stops spreading. But worse, if multiple people copy it, Facebook will reduce the reach on all of us and everybody that has anything to do with Lifewave in our social circle. So you kill all of our businesses immediately. It's a shocker, isn't it? You're like, oh my God, I thought we were helping everybody. Not when you copy and paste. The problem also is not only does it lose credibility. So let's say I start it and it's my words, yeah, and people that know me and we've got multiple friends all in common. It's different if you're posting it on a private thing and nobody else sees it. But when we have all got friends in common, and there's a lot of us here just now that are friends in common, all my people that we all know go, hold on a minute, Shelley said it, somebody else said it, somebody else said it, somebody else said it. So that's why we don't share it in our group, for instance, and do that. You can do something similar because you just kill it for everybody. And the problem is they all think we've been on a Zoom and we've been sharing it and we go, right, everybody do it, which is not true. So it dilutes your own brand voice, everything that you're building and trying. And we're not talking about you being an influencer. We're just talking about you trying to do what you're doing. All the confidence that you've built to do this in the first place kills it all. And it confuses your audience because now they don't feel that you're genuine about what you're saying, which means if you're not genuine, then does that mean that that doesn't work as well? And we're lying about our testimonials. So I don't want to end it on that because I want to share what we can do because there is a positive to this and it really is amazing. What you can do is there is a button that says share. So if you see somebody's and you think, oh my God, that's amazing, share it to your page. The person that shares it, yeah, so let's say it was mine and Val shared it as an example. So I'm just using you, Val, because you're literally right underneath me so I can see you. So Val shared it and she was like, wow. What'd you say? Inspired by Shelley Kitchen's post today, this really made me think. And then now you can put your testimonial in. Now this makes sense. Now this is a great reach and great credibility. Wow, my friend Shelley, yeah, because she shared it, I can see it. I can also go on, I can say, that's one of the things I love about you, Val. You shared your testimonial. That's how I got in the first place. See the friendship? Yeah, this makes sense to everybody that knows us. It doesn't dilute your brand voice. It actually does exactly the opposite. It times it by 10. And it no longer confuses your audience. It actually brings them together going, oh my God, look at these guys. They're such good friends. And now you can see, of course, why wouldn't they contact each other? They're helping each other. They're not nicking from each other, basically. They're helping each other. They're seeing each other. They're complementing one another. I want to be part of that. Just a slight tweak, copy and paste or share. And that's the only thing. Excuse me. So just the algorithms can be can work against you or they can work with you. So I want you to think the bottom line is sharing builds algorithms and team spirit. Copying just kills it. And that's it, my loves. That's me done.
Wow.
Brilliant.
Wow.
Brilliant.
That was
really,
fantastic.
really good.
Thank you so much. Because quite a few of us are, I'm guilty of a few of those things. So I can very, very much relate with that. And that, yes, that's gonna help. So we're all going to be sharing each other's and adding our little bit as opposed to copying and pasting. And brilliant.
Yeah, and just so you know, hands on heart, I'm the copy and paste girl. I was like, once I learned to copy and paste, I was like, perfect. I didn't understand what I was doing. So if I've ever copied and pasted anything from any of you, I just want to apologize. I didn't know what I was doing. So I'm really sorry. But now we know the share. So we know hearts and share. Yeah.
Hearts and share. Yeah, no, that's a good one. Remember that, hearts and share. So that's going to make life a lot easier. So brilliant. Wow, gosh, what a packed evening this is so far. So we've still got a couple of little bits to go through. I'm going to hand over to my beloved Val and Pat to talk about how you talk to people. So because both of these guys have got they've got balls. They'll just go up to anybody and just go, and start a conversation. And sometimes it's hard to do that, and you want to. And I don't know if you guys feel that, but sometimes I'm sort of, and I feel like I want to, and then I'm like, I don't know what to say. What do I say? What do we say when we go walking up to people? So I'm going to hand this over to the pair of you, because you might be able to do a bit of a.
Are you unmuted, Val?
I am indeed, Pat, and that's thrown me under the bus because I didn't know I was doing this bit. So nothing like being thrown under the bus.
I found out about an hour and a half ago. So
I thought I was just going to talk about the new incentives that we've got, but that's absolutely fine. So, I did notice you were limping a bit there, Pat. So what have you taken for it? How are you doing? Oh, your dog doesn't look very well.
Are you saying I'm limp?
Oh dear. No, I mean, I don't know if you go out and approach people in the street, Pat. I know you're really good in LinkedIn and cold calling, that sort of thing.
I kind of, if you'll forgive my French, everybody on the call, I kind of don't give a crap about what people are going to say to me. I'm 68 years old and I'm too pissed off with being polite and politically correct. I spent 25 years working in a foreign exchange dealing room. Yeah. So I've been insulted by experts for most of my life. Yeah. And I have thick skin. I do not get offended about anything, but I also don't get angry. I don't, because it's wasted energy, and I don't care about somebody saying to me no. But it does concern, I mean, a lot of tonight has been about social media and Facebook and everything else. I don't, with the greatest of respect to Shelley and what she's just said, because I've learned a ton. I don't get the whole social media thing, right? I won't buy off social media. In fact, I'm less likely, if somebody recommends something through Facebook, I am less likely to make a conscious purchase decision. So if I go and search something on Amazon or something like that, and all of a sudden I'm getting Facebook ads relating to X, Y, or Z, I will consciously go, if I search something regarding Adidas, I will consciously go and look for something that's Nike. Yeah. But that's stubbornness. That's me, and it's possibly age related. I don't like the way that I'm being, if you like, subverted by Facebook and
what approach are you taking, Pat?
Well, I'll go up to people. I often refer to how Inez and I got together back in 2007. We'd slept with each other half a dozen times, been and stayed in a couple of hotels a few times, but we hadn't really had a conversation except for the first, not the very first conversation that we had, but I think it was the third or fourth thing that I said to her, which was, "How do I get in your knickers?" Right? And that's no word of a lie. Yeah. And she said, "You tell me the time and the place, and should I bring the Wellingtons?" Right? That was the response. Okay. She didn't kick me in the face, right? But it wouldn't have bothered me if she had. But our first date, and this came back to me the other day because actually she put it up on Facebook. I have binned the receipt now, but I actually found the receipt for our first date. And we're both coming out of broken relationships. And I took her out for dinner to a fairly nice restaurant. We sat down, ordered a nice bottle of wine. I was drinking water. And I said, "Okay, then, you better tell me about yourself. Okay. Now, she started talking back in 2007 on April the 21st, and she hasn't stopped since. But I then spent the next 3.5 hours just listening to her. Yeah. And I firmly believe God gave us two of these and one of those. Yeah. So I'm not comfortable talking, right? This is really uncomfortable for me, talking in an open forum like this, because I like to listen. Yeah. I like to engage with another person. I like to ask questions, because I think with questions, that's where you get your answers, and it then gets you your buy signals. Yeah. I have a very clear goal in my mind whenever I start a conversation, and I think this won't work for everybody. It's what works for me. My goal, and has been since I was about 18 years old, yeah, which is when I got involved in relationship management, is not to make a sale. In other words, I'm not looking for a preferred customer, and I'm not looking for a brand partner. Okay, I'll tell you that for nothing. And it might conflict with other people that are in the business. What I'm looking for is a relationship. That is my goal. That is my end game. That relationship eventually might become a Lifewave brand partner. It might become a preferred customer. But I want that relationship first, because that's where you build trust. Yeah. And if people don't trust you, they're not going to buy from you. Yeah. So that's always what I'm looking for. We live in a modern world where people want instant gratification. And I don't like it. Yeah, I don't like the modern world. I like to talk to people. I don't do messaging. I mean, I do message to people, and sort of people like Jill will tell you, Barney will tell you that I'm forever messaging, but I'd rather have a conversation. Yeah, because I think with a conversation, there is two-way activity. Yeah. And for me, it takes a lot less time. Yeah, if you have a conversation with somebody. And it gives me that opportunity to ask questions. So, be authentic. You know, whenever you're talking to somebody, be authentic. Don't. In my foreign exchange life, I spent 25 years having every single one of my conversations taped by the Bank of England, because if we made a mistake, then we always had the tapes to refer to. So I couldn't tell a lie, right? And I still can't today. Inez, Inez will tell you, I cannot lie, and it's probably the reason why I'm twice divorced. Is that I couldn't lie to either of my ex-wives when they said, "Do you like my hair?" No, I don't. You know, do you love me anymore? No, I don't. Yeah. So be authentic, tell the truth, right? There's often people that are looking for testimonials. Yeah. And when we first started in Lifewave, it was what I always reached for myself. So it's a natural path to go to, is to look for somebody's testimonial. I don't now. If somebody asks me for a testimonial, I'll ask them to sign up first. Yeah. And then I'll give you a testimonial. Yeah. I don't want to send you a testimonial. I will give you my testimonial, because that's what really matters. Yeah. Because that's the authentic me. That's what's happened to me. I might borrow somebody else's. I might borrow Val's testimony. If I could remember the bloody word of that ligament that goes over your hip, then I might give them Val's testimony, because I can never remember that. And I've written it down half a dozen times. But I was talking with Barney the other day, and Barney was saying, "Well, I don't really have a testimonial." I think he's got a fantastic testimonial, and he's probably got a better testimonial than I have, because it's actually been recorded by doctors. Yeah, he's actually got data that can prove his testimonial. So you have your own testimonial in the back of your mind.
That's an interesting point you come up with there, Pat, and I'm going to dive in there. The reason being, when we first started doing this and getting involved with the Zoom calls and what have you, you kept saying to me, "I haven't got a testimonial." And I said, "Pat, you have." And I had to convince you that the fact that you're not in a wheelchair was pretty bloody impressive, because you are too modest. And for a lot of people, it's very, very difficult to go out and talk about yourself. So I say to everyone, that's a really, really important point. Learn your story. Don't have to put the word testimony on it. Learn your story. Learn
Yeah,
it
yeah,
backwards,
yeah.
learn it
I
forwards,
agree.
learn the 1 minute version, learn the 30-second version, learn the 5 minute version. So you can reel that out to anyone at any time, any place, and just say, you know what, this happened. My greater trochanter tendon nearly
Trochanter
broke.
tendon, greater trochanter tendon. Yeah.
Yeah, the one that goes over my hip. But it's the stories. And when people look you in the eye and see you mean it, they go, oh, she's convinced, you know, and you weren't to start with. And then you
Oh God,
realize
no, no,
that
no, no, no.
that's,
I was the eternal skeptic, and
yeah,
I think just
yeah,
about everybody is.
yeah. But now now you have a great story. Inez has a great story. Laura has a great story. Jill's got a great story. I look at everyone, but not everyone can talk about it. And if you want to talk to other people, you're going to listen to other people and they're going to ask you about you. And if you don't know your story, backwards, forwards, from the middle, from the end, whatever way around, you're going to stutter. And when you stutter and fumble, you sound inauthentic, unauthentic, whatever way you want to put it. So I say to everyone, learn your story, come on the Zooms, give your testimonial, and do it as often as you can, because then it will be natural when you speak to people. And that's the most important thing. Doesn't matter where you start, if you stumble when you start, the more you do it, the better you will be. You go and talk to people, ask them everything, as Pat's saying, about themselves until they turn around, they're fed up with talking about themselves and go, oh, yeah, I've spoken about
What do
us
you
for
do?
20 minutes. What is it you do? Oh, I'm so pleased you asked, you know? So your story is the most powerful thing you have. End of.
100% agree, Val. Couldn't agree more.
Yeah. Sorry, Pat.
That's all right. It's all right. Don't be a Lifewave bore, right? I mean, Shelley's
Yeah.
touched on this when she was talking
Yes.
about social media. It's the
Oh,
same in the
Jelly,
real
how
world.
good.
It's the same in the real world. Don't be a Lifewave bore, right?
Yeah.
Have other interests. It doesn't matter how varied or how, I'm into filthy, dirty humor, but you don't have to do that. But it's my crutch. It's how I get through life. There's too much misery and sadness in the world. I like things that make me laugh. And I don't care if they're old, they're ancient, right? And jokes that I've heard 350 times before, right? I'll tell them and I'll post them on
Yeah.
Facebook because it's something that I think brings a smile to other people.
And when you make people laugh, they can't be angry with you.
Absolutely. Have
So, and
have a
people say to
smile on
me,
your
oh,
face.
what if they don't like it? What if they say no? And I say to everyone, I've never seen a no draw blood. All right. If you say things to people with a twinkle in your eye and a smile, you know, they'll go, oh, piss off, but they don't mean it. They're like, it's all right, see you next time. They're not going to get angry. They're not going to, so long as you always leave the door open, you always amuse them and always make sure that you're someone they want to talk to, whether it's to come and tell you their problems or what have you. Make sure that if you're the person, you're walking down the street and people are crossing the road to avoid you, that's because you've become a bore. If they're crossing the road to come towards you to say hi, what you up to, what you're doing, or to tell you what they've been up to, even better, because they're going to give you every bit of information you need as to why they need the patches as well. If people are coming to talk to you, then you've got it made.
Make it personal. If you're
Absolutely.
ever in a restaurant, I mean, it's very popular in a lot of restaurants these days for people to have name tabs and that kind of thing. Whether I have intentions of speaking to somebody about Lifewave or not, I will always register the name and I will always address them by name.
Mm.
Um, and there's courtesy costs nothing. I'm old school, and I was brought up by my parents to believe that good manners cost absolutely nothing. Um, and people will remember what you say, and this is, I mean, it's a cliche. People will remember what you say. they'll forget what you said, they will forget what you did, but they'll never forget how you made them feel. So try to leave them feeling good.
Yeah.
Right? Whether it's been a LifeWave conversation or whether it hasn't. Yeah.
That's something also that I've
Making
found
parts
very,
of
very
life.
useful. Not just also making them feel good, but also you want to decide whether or not you actually want that person in your team. You don't
Absolutely.
pitch anyone. Don't pitch anyone until you know a little bit about them. Will they be the biggest nightmare, the biggest turn off for the rest of your team? Will they drive everyone completely batshit, excuse me? Or do they actually, will they actually fit in your team? Someone said to me the other day, "Oh my God, all the people that are coming into your team, Val, are all really woo-woo." Well, that's fine with me because we're all a bit woo-woo. And they're people that fit. We're a really good little family, a really good little community. And so when I talk to people, I'm finding out about them, but I'm also finding out as to whether or not I want to have a relationship with that person, and I don't mean a physical relationship, I mean a friendship. Do I want to spend time with them? Do I want to mentor them? If I don't think they're a good fit for me or a good fit for my business, I'm not going to pitch them. But I'm still going to, as you say, Pat, leave them feeling good because I don't know who else they know.
Yeah, always important that. Always important.
Show of hands in the real world. Forget the web, forget the internet, forget Facebook, Meta, and everything. All those things that I don't understand. But in the real world, who's afraid of talking to a stranger? Show of hands, please. Anyone afraid of talking to a stranger? And my hand is up. Yeah, because I am. I've been doing it since I was 18 years old, and I'm shit scared of it. Yeah. All right. But I was watching a Will Smith video a couple of weeks ago that relates to an expression originally attested to a guy called George Adair, who was a property developer in the United States in the 1800s. And that quote is, "Everything you ever dreamed of is on the other side of fear." Okay. And I promise you that everything I have ever dreamed of has been on the other side of fear. But if you get over that fear barrier, yeah, and as Val's already said, right, nobody's going to punch your lights out. Yeah. Inez used to dare me, right? When she was in Herbalife, she used to dare me to go up and pitch somebody on the beach, yeah, and say to them, "You're fat."
I didn't tell you to do that. You just went up to them and said that.
Well, it wasn't as direct as "you're fat." But if I could show you a way where you could lose, and somebody I've never met before in my life, and I do it all the
Ask you a
time.
personal question?
Can I? No. I want to ask you a personal question, nodding my head at the same time, right, with a huge smile on my face, right? And they're nodding their head in exchange. So I take that as an invitation to jump in with both feet. Yeah. If I could show you a safe, I can't remember what the expression was that I actually used to use, but just used to roll off the tongue because it was just so automatic. And I'd do it, complete strangers. Yeah. Nobody ever hit me. There were a couple of people that's a bit cheeky, isn't it? But always with a sort of trying with a twinkle in my eye and a smile on my face, because they know that I'm coming from a good position. I want to help them. I haven't tried it with Lifewave patches, going up to somebody on crutches, but there's probably a fair chance that I will.
I did actually. I mean, I don't want to be an ambulance chaser. That's the worst thing to do. But I was at a boot fair a few weeks ago, and I saw a lady. She wasn't moving so well. She was a stall holder, and I looked at her. I went, "Hips." She
Yeah.
looked at me and she went, "Yeah."
I have done it on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
If I can help you with that, yeah. When somebody's been sort of posting about sort of a particular problem that they've got, somebody he's been diagnosed with cancer. Yeah. If I can help you with that, would you like to have a private conversation?
Yeah.
That's a good one. That's a good one. Laura came out with something very
Love that one. Love that one.
Complete stranger. And he signed up as a brand partner. He's not doing the business, but he signed up as a brand partner just buying products.
And at the end of the day, you can't say the wrong thing to the right person.
Yeah.
You've just got to have a conversation like an adult. You haven't got to dive straight in with a pitch. But, you know, hey, you all right? You look like you're in pain.
And see where it goes, because you
Yeah.
know you're going to where they're going to, you know, some might be interested in the business, others will be interested as customers.
Yeah.
So you know you've got to see.
I had one lady tell me she had so many different things wrong with her. Oh no, but I'm absolutely fine because I take morphine. And I said, "Are you happy taking morphine?" Yes. Fine. End of conversation.
Yeah,
Happy days. All
yeah,
right. I don't want to explain to you anymore because you're happy taking morphine.
yeah. On to the next one. And that's the
Yeah.
other thing, isn't it? Don't try and convince people. We're not in the convincing game. There's no point. There are 8 billion people in the planet. There are so many people who need this patch, and so many people who want and will go for it. You know, so I sort of lose my patience with people as they start giving me little objections. I'm like, okay, fine, it's not for you. No problem. I'm here if you want to come back to me. And I go. And actually a lot of the time they do actually come back because you suddenly walked away and they're shocked that you're not trying to sell them. And I'm like, no, it's okay, fine. It's not for you. You know, if you know anybody that it could be for, and thank you very much for listening to me, and I'm off.
Yeah.
You know, because I want to find those they're the yeses.
There's so many yeses out there. Absolutely.
So many yeses, they don't even know they're yeses yet.
Yeah. But if you're not having enough conversations, you're not stepping outside your front door.
Exactly. And it is very much a numbers game.
Yeah.
I had someone text me yesterday after my video just saying because she was going to come on the Zoom tomorrow, and then she'd actually have Googled it, and I suffer with migraines, so I don't think it's for me.
Yeah. You know, there'll be, and that's it. She will realise at some point it is exactly what she needs, but
Yeah.
you know, it's absolutely fine. It might not be the right time for them. And that's the other thing. It might be the perfect person, but just the wrong day. They might be having a really shitty day.
Yeah.
So always
You
leave
get
the
the brunt
door
of it.
open. Yeah, always
Yeah,
leave
that's
the
it.
door open. So yeah,
I've got one final bullet point. Be interested, not interesting.
yeah,
Yeah. You've
Brilliant.
got to make it about them. It's not about you. It's not about what you want. It's not about what I want. It's about what they want. Yeah. They've got problems. What are we? We're the solution.
yeah.
And we are the solution. We know we're the solution.
Good, isn't it?
Yeah.
Brilliant. Wonderful. Well, I'm going to cut it at that because we are running loads. So, Val, would you like to please?
I will very quickly just run through what is going on with these amazing promotions at the moment. Now, in case you didn't know, we have the preferred customer incentive, which is running all month. It started beginning of the month, and we are off and running with that one. So if you introduce 3 or more preferred customers or preferred customer pluses during the course of this month, running up to the July 1st, you will get a wonderful $50 bonus. Yay! Just for doing that. They have to have a minimum auto ship of $99. So it's going to be a minimum sleeve of X39. Now, people keep saying to me, oh, yeah, but I really want to have brand partners. I really want brand partners. I don't want to keep signing up preferred customers. No, guys, no. Brand partners come after. Preferred customers are brand partners in waiting. Okay, the way that our new system is going to be coming in, and we'll be talking about that on a separate meeting, okay, is that when your people come in as brand partners, they need to hit the ground running. Now, we are stick in the mud English people, and we all say we want to get a product result first. Fine. If your person isn't business minded and they want to get a product result first, preferred customer, great. Get your product result. When they're excited, 3 days later, okay, they've got their patches on and they go, oh my God, this is amazing. I'm telling all my friends. Fantastic. Guess what you're doing next? You're going to sign up as a brand partner, okay? And your next patches are going to be as a brand partner. You're going to make your list. And when you sign up as a brand partner, we're going to hit the ground running. We're going to do your launch call and we're going to get you to manage it as fast as we can. Is that okay? Okay. So in the meantime, get your preferred customers. Now, also, just in case you haven't done the math on this, if someone buys 3 sleeves of X39 as a preferred customer or preferred customer plus, you're going to get 3 times $20, $60 for 3 sleeves of X39 when they're a preferred customer or preferred customer plus. You sign them up as a brand partner and they go in core package, they get 3 sleeves of X39. What do you get? $35. All right. They're better as a brand partner until they're ready to launch. Then, sorry, as a preferred customer until they're ready to launch, then a brand partner. When they're ready to launch, then $35 is nothing. You're going to get a lot more from them because you're going to get them bringing in a lot more people. Okay, so the other promo, which is fantastic, and we've got our first person in the team that hit that, Helen. Yay! First day of the promo, she hit manager. What a time to do it. So, lucky Helen, she gets a $100 bonus at the end of this promo. It runs, it started on Monday and it runs until the 23rd of June. So that's 2 weeks to rank up. So, Helen got $100 for ranking up to manager for the first time, which is absolutely wonderful. And her sponsor, Anne, gets $50 for being her sponsor and helping her get there. Or if you're in euros, that's 48 euros for Anne and 95 euros for Helen. Okay, but it doesn't stop there. There's more. If you manage to rank up to director for the first time, Laura, pay attention. Okay, you are going to get $300. $300. Fantastic. Or 285 if you're in euros. Okay. And lucky me, for Laura, I would get $150. So have a look through all of your team. And if you're not sure where to look, if you go into your binary tree, this is where my favorite place to look is. Go into everyone's binary in the binary tree, look at view profile for that person and look at next rank in the tabs. And it will tell you exactly what they need to do to hit the next rank. Check out everyone in your downline because you're going to get free money and they're going to get twice as much free money. What do we like? We like free money. Okay, so this is just for doing what you normally do, a chunk of money for doing what you normally would be doing and getting to the goals you know you already want. So 23rd of June is the rank up promo. That's the finish of that. So we've still got another, 10 days or so, haven't we? 9th, 10th, 13 days. Wow. So how many of you can rank up in that time? Help your teams get going. If you're not manager yet, well, that's great. You can do that in that time. If you need to do a launch call, if you need help, shout. We're here. We'll do it. You know, we can do it at the drop of a hat. If you want a launch call, Gemma did a launch call with about 2 days' notice. Keely did a launch call with about 2 days' notice. Okay, you just get on the blower. Call everyone. Okay, let's do it. Any questions on the promo? Either of them? Was that clear as mud?
That was as clear as clear.
Love it. Okay, job
And
done.
I just want to say something quickly. Philippa, let's get your launch call done, darling.
Excellent. Anyone else want a launch call? Let's do it. Okay.
Yep, absolutely. We're all available and ready. So, 24/7. No problem at all there.
And I promise I won't swear.
You choose the date and we'll do it.
Love it.
Okay, so last of all, you've all seen or all heard about the new enhanced marketing plan that's coming in. Some of you might be a bit concerned about it or whatever. Please don't be. It's going to take me quite a few times to get my head around it, but there will be 9 ways of earning money, and right from the get-go, people who are coming in are going to be earning money from straight away. It's going to be more based on points and percentages of points. But you still got the binary tree, so don't stop what you're doing. The most important thing is that you don't panic and you don't slow down, because when it comes into play, which will be sometime in August, there's still a few little tweaks they've got to do, and certain different markets will have certain rules and regulations where there'll be slight differences. Once they actually launch it, first of all, it's going to be rolled out, over a period of time. But if you are in a good position, you are just going to fly, and your income is going to actually explode even further. So make sure you are doing get out there, get talking to people, get customers. It's going to be a little bit more customer involved, but not massively. The wonderful thing that I noticed about customers, because some of you will probably know, I adore having customers, and I must probably between 200 and 300 a week comes in from customers, just from customers, let alone the cycle bonuses and everything else. But what I found out was, whereas at the moment you get $20 as a commission, you'll also get a percentage of the points that they generate. So each one that you have generates points. So you get a new customer, preferred customer or preferred customer plus. Because you get a commission, you get a lesser amount of points as your personal volume. It's 43 for the X39. Okay. So if you had 2 of those, that's going to keep you live. You don't have to worry about when you've got to order a next product or anything else. It's going to keep you active all the way. It means you keep your points. But as those points accumulate, you'll start to get either 5%, 7%, or 10% of those points, as well as like an extra bonus. So seriously, everybody needs to be having patches. Doesn't matter whether they're a customer or a brand partner, as Val said, they will convert. Where we were before, we went to, Pat and I went to one of the top level meetings, and they got us to stand up, whether you came in as a customer first or straight from the business. 96% of the top earners in that company were from customer based first. And that included us. I was a customer for 13 and a half years before I joined the company. So, hopefully nobody in your organization will be quite as slow as me. And they'll quickly see, getting yourself over. But the enhancements are just amazing, and they're going to explode this business. So whoever you're talking to, listen to what they're saying and then go, okay, listen, customer, let's get you started on the patches. Let's get you going. Let's get you going. Let's get you going. Get them in, because once they're in, 99.9% of them will stay in and be in. Okay. Well, I think that's probably it. I don't want to go too much into the marketing plan, because that's really for another day. Yeah, listen, I want to thank every single one of you for being on. Shelley's just gone. She's got another call. I wanted to thank her, but I will send her a message. I hope it's been of use. It went on a little bit longer than I expected, but kudos to all of you. Got your patches on, you stayed the course. The recording will be up very, very quickly. And looking forward to seeing you on the Zoom tomorrow night, 7 o'clock. We do the presentation for 20-25 minutes, and then we have a good chitty chatty afterwards. And we'll see you on there. So lots of love to you all. Thank you, all the speakers.
Thanks,
Well done, everyone. Thank you very
Absolutely
much.
brilliant.
Thanks, everyone. See you soon.
Bye.
Bye.